Hey, how are you today? Welcome to another Q&A segment of Next Evolution Athletics online coaching. So here we are, back at it. I have a really good question today. I got it probably a couple of weeks ago now, and I didn't have the chance to actually answer it in person because this person asked me online, and just with everything going on and all the craziness of readjusting due to the second lockdown, I hadn't had a chance to actually answer it. So I'm going to shoot the video, answer it. Boom, we have a question, and it's really good. The question was, can you work out twice a day? And if so, should you train the same muscle groups when you do? That's a really great question. And of course, like every answer I give, it depends. So yes, you can definitely work out twice a day. You can work out multiple times a day, 3, 4 times a day. But there are a lot of caveats to that answer. It really does depend on a lot of different things. So before I dive into that, let's kind of understand where this question is coming from. The person that asked me this question is currently on a weight loss journey and a body recomposition journey. I won't release this person's name, but that's their main goal right now. So we'll talk in that perspective, and then I'll dive into the other stuff. I'll try and not make this question and answer period too long. So, for example, if you're looking for, say, a body composition improvement, generally what you do with all you're trying to get as much volume as you can that allows you to maintain weight loss and fat loss, but still allow you to recover and train the next day. It's frequency. You just need that volume of movement. So for understanding that, the way we design the training on a 2-a-day we would do probably a lower rep, higher set and rep scheme in the earlier part of the day. Like, say, for example, if you wanted to body comp, I do something like functional hypertrophy in the morning. So it could be 5 sets of 4 to 6 reps, 2, 4 exercises. Okay. The workout would last about 45 minutes and it would be pretty intense. Okay. And then I'd probably wait about 6 hours. So if you did it in the AM, you do it early afternoon. If you did it in the late morning, you do it later in the evening. About 6-hour break in between. And then I do a higher volume phase. So a lot of endurance stuff. So right into the strength endurance. You'd be looking at 2-3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Could be anywhere between 4 and 6 exercises. And that should take about 30 minutes. And it would be the same muscle groups. It is actually a system that Charles Poliquin used to teach, and works great. Really, really good. But you have to recover for it, and you have to train, eat accordingly. It is a very challenging system. And that would be the answer for fat loss. And if it's like saying muscle size, I'd probably do strength and hypertrophy. Okay. Maybe go for a walk afterwards or something like that. That'd be roughly for fat loss. Now, if I was training, say, for a sport, it would be different as well. So you'd probably be doing like your skill training first. Like, say, if you were a rugby player, and it'd be better to have practice earlier in the day that's just skill focused. Okay, I'm not talking about run drills and conditioning. I'm talking about like just working on technique stuff. Okay, and then I would do strength development, and then probably a conditioning practice later in the day, or I would do kind of like speed power sprinting first thing in the morning, and then do my long, like more like skills based drills in the evening for, like, say, cutting drills, agility drills, sprint drills, practice stuff like that. Just a regular typical practice. You could also set it up in order of priority. So, say, for example, you have an area that causes issue, say like a banged up shoulder. Maybe do your shoulder rehab first thing earlier in the day, and then you do the stuff that works around the shoulder rehab, like your more traditional goals of like hypertrophy or fat loss. So the way it generally works is it is a CNS thing. So generally people are fresher in the day and their CNS is running at a higher level. So you are more alert, you're more focused, and you can put more effort into that specific thing the earlier you train it. And as you go on, your CNS kind of like drops down a little bit. You're not as focused, you're not as bang on, you're not as on point. So what'll happen is you do the more metabolically demanding things later in the day after you've already done the strength or power or speed or skill work or priority work, whatever it is, and then other part. And the time frames will vary. You could also do things if you were like, say, a mixed martial arts fighter. Say you have a background in kickboxing, but you really need to get better at your grappling game or jiu-jitsu. So you'll do jiu-jitsu earlier in the day when you're fresh. Then you might do strength training because you're weak in comparison to where you need to be, but you're really well conditioned, so you get your conditioning from kickboxing, and you can play within all kinds of certain little tricks and things like that. And this is the stuff that Charles would talk about when I was doing all the PICP courses. I spoke with Andre Benoit at length on numerous occasions. He was Charles' right-hand man for years, and I was fortunate enough to mentor under him for a while. And he said the same thing with that stuff, and he gave his viewpoints on stuff. And it just makes a big difference when you're trying to do a 2 a day. Now, the fun part of everything. The factors that allow you to do a 2 a day aren't necessarily like the willpower to do it. It could be something. Man, there's a lot of things that go into it. Like you got to look at recovery, you've got to look at timing, you've got to look at nutrition, you've got to look at duration and frequency, the time frame you're putting into it, rest between bouts and sessions. Like there is a lot to take into consideration, like a lot. So generally when I start having someone that's doing it 2 a day and they've never done them before, but they want to try it, depending on what their goals are, it could be something as simple as just creating the habit of doing it 2 a day. So what we'll end up doing is something to the extent of, say, you'll do hypertrophy training in the morning, and then in the afternoon you have to go for a half-hour walk just to get into that habit. And you do that 2-3 times a week. And then you titrate up. You just don't just flip the switch and do it, because that's a great way to get banged up, because you have to include recovery time. A lot of people can't do it right out of the gate because it's just not something they're used to. So you have to take into consideration where the individual starts and where you're starting and what you're training for. Like if you expect to run like a hardcore conditioning circuit in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening, and then be in a super high caloric deficit and no recovery, and you want to do that 6 days a week, you might be able to last a couple weeks on that, maybe 3, before you beat up. Like there's just the volume will get you, the lack of recovery will get you, the lack of nutrition will get you. Like there's just a lot of things that will catch up very quickly. So I would probably err on the side of caution starting out and plan my 2 a days with erring on the side of lighter than heavier. So for example, someone that wants to lose some weight, I would do my traditional training in the earlier in the day, like say noon or earlier, and then do like a little bit more conditioning based work in the evening, like a light jog or even a walk 2 or 3 times a week, and then build up on that. If you're a person that can't do the strength training in the morning, it's not perfect, but you can wake up, do a fasted 20 or 30-minute walk, or maybe 3, 10, 15-minute walks a day while you're at work, like breaking up your day, and then do your lifting at night. Now, is that perfect? No, but you're still getting in a 2 a day, or 3 a day, or 4 a day, or 5 a day, depending on what you're trying to do. But you just have to kind of take into consideration your time, your schedule, the duration of your lift or training time, the frequency, and just slowly build up from there. Just flipping a switch and going from 1 to nothing, or from 0 to hero, like it's really rough. So you have to understand the best thing you can do is start slow and build it up so you can get the long-term benefit of it. If you want a short-term fix, man, you can go for broke, but you'll probably break, straight up and honest. Yeah, that's about it, guys. It was a really good question, and I'm glad this person asked it. It's been one of those questions that's been asked a couple times, and I've never actually filmed a video on it. So this has been a really good opportunity for me to do so. So thank you. If you guys like what you see, please like and subscribe. Maybe send a comment. I've got more stuff coming your way. If you want a free ebook, go to my website, subscribe to the page. I don't really send out many emails, but it is a free in-home training ebook, also a travel training ebook for minimal to no equipment to full gym. And it's just a simple little thing that I used to design for my clients when they go and travel on vacation. So they still want to work out, but they may or may not have access to a gym. Yeah. Check out the Instagram page, Next Evolution Athletics. Here I am, guys. Great question. Got more coming your way. Have a good one.